Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down why so many agents fail in their first few years in real estate, and I'm going to give you some raw, unfiltered truth about what's happening in the real estate world and what I've seen with successful and unsuccessful agents, and what I have seen and believe and am convinced and have been proven over and over again why so many people fail. And there are some pretty quick solves. Stick around for the end because I'll talk to you about whether or not a brokerage is the solution. Is your broker to blame or not? Well, we'll get to that in just a second. I'm Isaac with Real Estate CEOs, and I'm here just to talk to you a little bit about shooting straight in real estate. I'm always happy to partner up with people that are looking to grow their business, whether it's learning how to generate leads, convert your leads better, build a team, and maybe even recruit, do something like that, or really break out in the video space. So I'm breaking this down for you today because there's so many agents that are trying to crack the code on being productive, and I want to expose a little bit about why so many people fail. So let's jump right into the top 3 reasons that real estate agents fail in real estate and how to avoid them. Now, before we jump into that, make sure that you like, comment, and share this video. If you have any additional things that you think I may have missed or need any clarification, drop it in the comments below. Also, if you ever want to learn more how to partner with me and my partners over at Real Estate CEOs, feel encouraged. Go down in the description below. There's a link where you can book one-on-one time with me because I'm here to help and support you in any way I can. So let's jump right into it. The number one reason is because you don't have a boss. Most of us got into real estate because of what I call FIFA. I've interviewed thousands of agents at this point, hired hundreds, and here's what always comes up when I ask, why are you in real estate? Why are you interested in real estate? What appealed to you about it? And FIFA always comes up. FIFA is my acronym for freedom, independence, flexibility, or autonomy. One of those 4, and almost always all of those 4, are the reason that people get into it. Now, here's the thing, that when you get into real estate, it's really great to feel like you don't have a boss. And the reality is you do have a boss. You just have a crazy boss. Let me break that down for you. You are the boss. You are 2 separate people inside your own real estate business. You are both the boss and the employee. And so the problem with not having a boss or having yourself as a boss is, I don't know, have you ever been a boss? Have you ever had to hold yourself accountable to getting your work done when you say you're going to get it done? If you don't have that experience, chances are your boss is a crazy person who at sometimes expects you to work 12, 15, 18 hours in a day, and other times is conspiring to go to the beach all day long, right? So for a lot of real estate agents, they get this employee mindset where they go, well, I guess I don't have a boss. It's Tuesday. It's really beautiful outside. Why don't I just cut it short and let's go to the beach? And where in a normal situation, you wouldn't be able to do that because your boss would never allow that. Well, your boss is this crazy person called you who's like, oh, you want to go to the beach? Great. You get the sunblock. I'll get the towels. Let's go. And so it's a really big challenge because it's this false appearance of freedom and flexibility and independence and total autonomy. But in reality, what's required is extreme discipline. Even as I'm shooting this right now, I don't have a boss per se, but I do know that I have to get this done. And so boss me is holding employee me accountable to that. And that relationship can be really toxic both ways. Now think about it this way. I'll use myself as an example. When employee Isaac decides to blow off part of the day, I'm actually taking advantage of boss Isaac, right? Because I'm taking advantage of that relationship. I'm exploiting my employer. When I choose to ignore my lead gen or my follow-up calls or anything like that, I'm actually kind of doing them a disservice. At the same time, the bosses can also abuse their employees. Right? How about when employee Isaac does what he's supposed to do, makes his 20 contacts in a day, and because it went so well, boss Isaac turns around and goes, well, hey, that wasn't so bad. You did that in less time than you thought you were going to. You know what? Why don't you throw in another 10? Well, when it's you, you feel good. You're like, yeah, you know what? This is going so good. I'm going to throw up another 10 contacts today because things went so well. Well, in reality, if you had a normal job and you did your job so well, and you did exactly what you're supposed to do, and you're ready to clock out, and your boss goes, whoa, wait, you'd be super pissed off. Excuse my language, but you probably would be. And so the reality is most agents don't know how to handle, Most humans don't know how to handle being both the boss and the employee. And that creates all kinds of other problems with inconsistency, unrealistic expectations, and a plethora of other issues with time management and relationship management that ultimately forces a lot of people to overwhelm, and overwhelm oftentimes leads to inaction. And inaction is the number 2 thing that holds people back from succeeding. Inaction or lack of consistency. I kind of consider those 2 things the same, because when you are overwhelmed, you tend not to take action. And when you don't take action on Tuesday, but then on Wednesday, but then not again on Thursday, but then kind of on Friday, well, that creates this inconsistency, especially as it relates to lead generation activities. So that inconsistency is a big issue, and that's issue number 2. Number 3 is expectations. And let me share with you what I mean by this. It's having the expectations, and this is actually the underlying factor for all of this. The expectation that I get to be my own boss and do whatever it is that I want at any given time. The expectation that I could take days off and then therefore show up as inconsistent, right? This is kind of the underlying current there, is that expectation. But the other thing is this. We are sold on the idea that real estate success is very linear, or there's these like very defined and even steps. So the best way I can explain it is, imagine you're walking up a staircase, right? Real estate's oftentimes explained to us like that. It's, hey, first step, you're interested in real estate. Second step, you sign up for real estate school. Third step, you pass the real estate course and you sign up for your exam. Fourth step, you pass the exam and get your license. Fifth step, you choose a brokerage. Sixth step, you go to training. Seventh step, you find clients. Eighth step, you negotiate contracts and get a mentor, and so on and so forth. And then you make money, right? And the way that it's positioned, by the way, that's all true. Those are the steps. That's the order in which agents, get into real estate as a career. But it almost sounds like they're all just as easy or hard as the previous step. So, hey, I'm interested in real estate. I went to real estate courses. That wasn't too bad. I took the exam. I joined a brokerage. I showed up to training. I generated business. That's the problem, is that we expect generating business to be as easy as all the preceding steps and all the steps afterwards. To be honest, it's not terribly hard to write a contract. It's not terribly hard to schedule an inspection and negotiate requests for repairs and manage timelines and contingencies. Those are all super important, don't get me wrong, but they're not incredibly hard. But one of the hardest things, the thing that most people can't solve for, is the lead generation part. And so all the preceding steps up to I now have to generate business feel easy enough. And then we go, okay, I'm here. I'm a licensed agent. I chose my brokerage. I did all my education. I told all my friends about it. Now let's open the real estate doors and leads should just be coming in, right? And then we get that rude awakening. Oh my God, I have to be a marketer? And then if I learn how to generate leads, I then have to be able to convert them? This is insane. We didn't really know that that's what we were signing up for. And maybe even if we did, because maybe I saw a great YouTube video, somebody in the industry taught me that, a lot of times the expectations still aren't in alignment with what it really takes, the amount of discipline and sacrifice and skill set development and focus that it takes to generate and convert leads. And so when we hit that is when I see a lot of disenchantment with the real estate as a career. So then we look for teams that will give us leads and all these other things, and none of those things are wrong. I think those are the right thing, but a lot of times it's a gut punch. It takes the wind out of us. And then that further creates inconsistency issues and those things that harm us from being able to really succeed. Because not having enough leads is definitely a problem, but that's a symptom, not the sickness. That's a symptom of not understanding how to do those things. And so I promised that by the end of this video, I would talk about whether or not your brokerage matters. And here's the truth. It depends. Is your brokerage built on a buffet style training where, as it relates to lead generation, they give you a buffet? They go, hey, I'll teach you how to, we'll do role play and I'll teach you how to write contracts. And when it comes to lead generation, I'll give you a generic buffet style training, which is here's 8 or 18 different ways you can generate leads. I'll go a little bit on each one and go get them, Tiger. Let me know when you have somebody ready to put a pen to paper and I'll connect you with your mentor and then they'll walk you through the entire transaction. They make it sound that easy. Or does your brokerage have a specific plan, a proven model of generating business on a consistent basis? That's going to be the differentiator as to whether or not brokerage matters. Now, here's the reality. I don't believe that most brokers are even concerned with that. And I don't think it's necessarily their responsibility to teach you the specific way that you should be generating business. My head, brokerages are their clearinghouse for my transactions. They provide basic support, training, and tools for me to run my business and point me in the direction of any resources I might need, maybe like a coach or something like that. So the reality is, then you start to figure out like, okay, well, if my brokerage isn't supposed to provide that, what do I do? Well, there's a few different things you can do. You can hire a coach. That's what I did. You can join a team who's going to invest in you. Now, the reality is the challenge with most teams is they're not interested in teaching you how to generate leads. They're interested in giving you leads so that you can convert them and pay them a commission split. That is not a terrible value proposition. It's not a terrible arrangement. The challenge is that you never learn how to fish, right? And so then what you got to do is go and say, all right, well, how can I learn this? And that's probably how you ended up on a video like this, or how you ended up in YouTube University, right? With somebody teaching you how to generate business. And so the only scenario in which the brokerage really can come alongside you and support you is in a structure where the people who are actually generating leads on an everyday basis are incentivized to teach you how to do the exact same thing. And here's a little hint for you. It's not usually a managing broker. It's not usually your mentor. Those people are very important inside the structure of a brokerage. Inside the structure of your local office, your managing broker and your mentor are amazing, and they serve a really great purpose to make sure that when you get somebody who's ready to put pen to paper, you are fully supported and you know what's going on, and you have somebody you can rely on to get you through that. I cannot understate the value of that. But almost by definition, they're not lead generators. They're not running their own real estate business, right? One of the first brokerages I was at, it was literally the person who ran the office couldn't sell real estate because they were supposed to be focused on broker stuff and running the office, providing trainings, making sure the copier was up and running and facilitating large-scale trainings, but they weren't out there generating leads every day. So who should you be learning from? It's people that are out there generating leads and selling real estate every single day. So where do you go for that? Well, you go to a brokerage where they incentivize people to train you. These are cloud-based brokerages. The one that I'm at, LPT, it works like this. Somebody joins the brokerage because I influenced them to join the brokerage. I attracted them to join the brokerage. I now have a financial incentive to make sure that that person succeeds. And so if I know how to generate leads, or I know how to convert leads, or I know how to do X, Y, and Z that they don't know how, well, then it behooves me to open my playbook and show them exactly how to do that thing. And so why most agents fail is, one, unrealistic expectations about how you're going to manage your day, whether or not you have a boss, freedom, independence, flexibility, autonomy, right? FIFA. In addition to that, it's the lack of discipline and consistency. And then lastly, it's the lack of access to somebody who can actually help guide you on how to generate and convert business. Because most brokerages, despite their best efforts, are not nailing that part for you. And I don't blame them. I don't even know that that's their responsibility necessarily. But I think it is their responsibility to create a structure wherein people who do know what they're doing are incentivized to open their playbook to you and really share how this thing is done. I would venture to say those 87% of agents that fail, it's not because they don't know how to write a contract. It's not because they don't know how to order photography for a listing. It's not that they don't know how to set a for sale sign in a yard or get open house signs set up. It's none of those things. The majority of it comes down to they don't know how to find consistent, predictable, and reliable sources of business flow, of lead flow, of client flow. And so when we solve for that, you see the success rate increase. So you want to know why most agents fail? That's probably the number one reason why. And all the other things stem from that. Or all the other things lead to that, right? Inconsistency means you're not going to have a good amount of opportunity. And usually you're inconsistent. And I know I'm kind of talking in a circle here, but usually you're inconsistent because you don't know exactly what works. And you don't have somebody there saying, do this, do it this way, do it at this time, do it this many repetitions, bring me back the results that you measured, and let's go over how we can make adjustments so that you have the right strategy in place for the next session of lead generation, of door knocking, of calling, of running open houses, of sending out mailers, of running Facebook and YouTube ads. When you don't have that element, you're almost destined to fail, especially in today's market. So this is not a doom and gloom video. This is a there's hope video. There's hope when you decide to partner with somebody who knows what they're doing. right? And what I would say is if you're interested in learning more about how I can help, and it's not just me, that's the important thing, is there's people in my group, people that are selling 1,500 homes a year, 600 homes a year, 300 homes a year, 50 homes a year as individuals. These are people that we are in this interconnected, interdependent community. And we open our playbooks to share with the people in there. So if you're interested in learning more about how we as a collective can help you, not just me, but the collective group of people that you saw maybe on the intro of this video, you don't even really see me in those images because it's about the group, not about me. So if you're interested in that, go in the description below and there's a link where you can book one-on-one time with me. And I'll break down exactly how we do it, why we do it, and what we do to help you grow your business so that you don't have to be another real estate statistic. Now, until next time, happy selling.